Hello, Stings. This is a review of some notes that we took in class regarding parallel and perpendicular lines. So we open up the foldable and we talked about parallel lines have the same slope. So here in our first example, it's asked us to find the slope of a line parallel to the line that goes through the given points. So if I connect these points, this line has a slope of 5/8, and if I want a line parallel to that line here, then it would also have a slope of 5/8. We have an equation here in slope-intercept form. We want a slope of a line that's parallel to this line here, and since this slope is 1/3, the parallel line would also have a slope of 1/3. For perpendicular lines, they have opposite reciprocal slopes. So we found the slope here of the first line is 6/5, so we want to find the slope of a line that's perpendicular to this. So that means we're going to take this fraction and we're going to take its opposite, and we're also going to flip it. So the perpendicular slope would be -5/6. For the slope of the line perpendicular to this equation here, the line given by this equation, since this slope is -3, the perpendicular slope would be the opposite, so that makes it positive, and we would flip. The reciprocal would be 1/3. So we would end up with a perpendicular slope of 1/3. For an application sense, write an equation of the line that goes through this point and is parallel to this line. So if you're parallel to this line, you're going to have the same slope. So we have slope and we have a point. So we have two processes or options that we could use to find the equation of a line that's parallel to this line. We could use the point slope formula by substituting in the values that we have been given, simplify, and then solve for y. Or we could use our table method, where we put the point in for x and y, substitute the slope, the x, and then set that equal to the y and solve for b. Either way, you end up with the same equation. For perpendicular, we have a point. We have a line here, but this is not in slope-intercept form, so we're going to have to solve for y first. So we took the standard form, moved the x value, divided everything by the number in front of the y, and ended up with y equals -2/3 x plus 4. So this slope is -2/3. The perpendicular slope is the opposite reciprocal, so we're going to go from a negative to a positive, flip the fraction to 3/2. So our perpendicular slope is 3/2. And again, because we have slope and a point, we could use the point slope formula, where we substitute in the values, simplify, and solve for y. Or we could use the table method and use the slope-intercept form and solve for b. Either way, you end up with the same equation. So that is a quick review of the notes that we took in class on parallel and perpendicular lines.